going on, guys? Welcome back. Really, not for sure what I was going to talk about when I turned on the camera. I'm going to go lift some weights, of course. So, of course, we're going to talk about that. But I had something else I wanted to talk about. So I'm glad I just wasted like 30 seconds of your time thinking about what I was going to talk about, because I did hit a heavy bench. Wasn't heavy on my deload, so I wanted, because I knew, I was like, man, bench has been feeling good. I know I'm going to make a low 3 look good as a deload weight, even though it didn't technically doesn't sound like a deload whenever I was doing 315 the whole like block before that, but like all those had stipulations to why they weren't moving too well. So that happened. So I started this block, as you saw, or will see, with a 320 as my first pressing movement or pressing weight for the start, and it moved fine, moved well, no spotter, really no hype. I did take some smelling salts, but I just like damaging my brain cells, so it's okay. But I was very pleased with how that moved, and I didn't record any of the other stuff for that deload, because I was either at Club Fitness or I would go and I just wasn't moving anything interesting. And this is more of a progression of, are you going to let me go? Okay. This is a progression of like how my weight gain has been going, my muscle gain, and my strength. And I know like you guys want to see me lift not as heavy weight as you usually do, so might be, but I didn't feel like recording it when I wanted to just get things done, because I was on a time crunch, because things have just been happening. Life has been happening. Sometimes recording isn't the most ideal thing. But we have deadlifts today, and that's going to consist of, I don't know yet. I'm thinking low 5s. It's the rep scheme and rep and set scheme changed. We're now doing a 3x2 instead of like I think it was a 3x3 before. Yeah, it was a 3x3 before. So now we're doing a 3x2, roughly the same RPEs, but just the rep range went down, so I'm expecting heavier out of it. I don't know, we'll see. Core's kind of exhausted, but I think we can push through. Got some they're not worded as beltless. They're not worded as beltless, sleeveless, or whatever, but I kind of go no anything high bar pause squats. I go no gear, none at all. I just come in and I just do it with just straight body. And so that's why I've said this before. It was a while ago, but I said this about why my high bar pause squats are less than my other high bar squats. Is because one's post heavy squats and my body's primed to lift heavier weight, and I'm already in all my lifting gear, so I'm like, well, I better push this one harder, because if I just did 325 with all this stuff on, I wouldn't even get anything out of it, really. Now, for this lift, or the deadlift day / back day, because I do my back stuff on this day too, I focus on doing good form but with no gear, so I have to really focus on bracing. That's the explanation for the squat. And then the deadlift, I've been starting my warm-ups with 2 plates. So not really much behind that. I just start with 2 plates, and I just go from plate to plate until I get to my top sets. Like once I get above 5 plates, then I start slowing down with, like, instead of putting on plate, I'll do like a 25, whatever. I think the end of this one, I'll be getting close to, for a 3x2, I think is what it was. Yeah, because it was a 3x3, now it's a 3x2. I'll be hopefully going for right near 585 for 2s. So we'll see. That's the goal. I'm saying it now, so hopefully it fruitions into something. My titty just poking out. I mean, I don't really have much to talk about. I mean, I say that in a lot of these videos, but like, it's not much. Like, I could talk about, I guess, whatever you guys want to hear. I mean, all I can really say is, like, because I don't record a whole lot of my I record the accessories, my bodybuilding movements. Like my bodybuilding day, when I do my arms / shoulder day, like tomorrow, what I'll probably do is I'll do my secondary press day, and then I'll move from that into my shoulder day. So that way, all I do on my arm day is I go in and I just treat it like an arm and a shoulder pump day. Like I'll do extra lateral and rear movements, which my rear delt's grown exponentially compared to when I started this bulk. And then the rep scheme I kind of take into consideration for my bodybuilding movements, whether it be for like after this workout when I hit my back movements, or just in general like my arm day / shoulder days. What I take into consideration and what I take into factor is making sure I do heavy as I can go, but then keep decent form, and then also be able to do partials. I do lots of partials now in comparison to the past. Usually I would just go, and I even do failure sets where I'll just go till I can't go. Where I can feel it just feels like my arm just like giving out. It's just like, yeah, I can't go no more. It just gives out on me. Because I do force reps when I do my one tricep movement, which you probably have seen in videos before. Well, I'll come here, out, and down, and that really gets the tricep going. But for that movement, the only reason why I can force that one, because it's not like both hands aren't used up, so I can use the other hand to help press it down and then get that extension, squeeze, hold, and then slowly release. I can talk more about that kind of stuff, or I could talk about my powerlifting. Like for example, like I gave for the bodybuilding, is like on squats, because that's been my most progressed lift. I mean, deadlifts, I guess, has progressed because I hit a 545 for a 3x3, and I've never hit even 545 for reps before, so there's that, but I'm also bigger. So squat and deadlift were, of course, going to go up slightly, but deadlifts usually don't correlate that well to get weight gain. I mean, if you put it on right, which apparently I did, because it's not like my gut's getting in the way. I do have a stomach compared to how I was whenever I was starting it, because I was really lean, and it was flat. Now I'm like out here looking like I have a power gut, which I do. A shapely one. More out than it is just all around big. But for squats, what I do different now, and consistency over time, but making small adjustments I could see that will help, is I moved my grip. Even though I'm bigger and it's a little uncomfortable, I just stretch a little more and it can get my shoulders there. So I moved my grip in slightly, and I do 2 different, like I call them lock-ins before I squat, where I lock in when I lift it up, I walk it out, and then I do a second full lock in where all I'm doing is I'm pulling the bar down, and I have a low bar. Right now you can't tell. It looks like I'm doing a high bar because I can't pull my shoulders all the way down. I kind of make it lock them into position, and it kind of forces me in a slight bend, which you want a slight bend. I mean, you don't want to be straight up. You slight break in the hips, but lock it in. And what I'm doing is when I brace, I'm kind of not just trying to expand. I'm trying to brace as in bring everything in tight and get a little pelvic tilt and crunch. And when I go, I want my back kind of pulling down and then pulling my lats in. So not just down here, but down and in. And that really locks in my lats. And with it a filled up full brace, you just feel unstoppable. It feels like no weight's heavy on your back. Like when I did that 585, I didn't even feel it compared to how it used to usually feel. Like I said, I am bigger though too, so there is a caveat that I don't know if it's just the weight gain is making it do that, or if just these little adjustments help. I know it's most likely a mixture, but I don't know what the percentage is. We wouldn't know because I did these changes as I was getting bigger. So when I diet down, if these still adjustments help, then I know that the adjustments were the right move. There it is. Well, I gave you my examples that I wanted to talk about of like things I can talk about in these videos. Comment below what if like this would be more beneficial to hear me talk about these small adjustments, these small things I do that help me gain size, help me gain strength. But on that note, I got things to do, places to be, dogs to feed. So I'm gonna head in, start this lift. Ugh. Ugh.